Det här är Anna Åbergs podcast. Jag började leva som digital nomad 2012. Sökte den yttre friheten i att resa runt världen och jobba online och vara fri. Och den yttre friheten ledde till en inre resa och en inre frihet som jag utforskar i mirakelkursen. Och den här podcasten handlar om en kurs i mirakler. I det här avsnittet så intervjuar jag Fraces Xu. Frances har regisserat filmen Take Me Home och jobbar tillsammans med David Hoffmeister i Living Miracles. Jag har följt Frances under en lång tid, så för mig är det en stor sak att få intervjua henne. Vi pratar om hur kursen kom till henne och också hur hon praktiserar och lever kursens budskap idag. Och när vi pratar om hur Frances lever idag i Living Miracles community i Mexiko så blev jag väldigt berörd. Det blev en ganska kort intervju därför att jag blev så berörd. Jag hoppas att jag kommer att få prata mer med Frances längre fram. Varsågod. Hi and welcome. This episode of the podcast will be in English because I'm here with Fraces Xu. Welcome, Frances.
Oh, you're so welcome and thank you for having me.
I am so happy and so excited to interview you. I have been listening to your teachings for years and you don't know me, but I feel like I know you. I mean, I heard your story but we didn't meet until last weekend, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I invited you to a group watching your movie, Take Me Home.
Yes, that was very sweet. And actually, I have been to Sweden many times, and I always felt there's a huge calling of this teaching of Jesus and A Course in Miracles in Sweden from, as long as I know about the course. And there are so many course students in Sweden. So I always feel really touched. And then when you reach out to me to say, can we have a little group, Q&A session about Take Me Home, I just felt this, just resonance in my heart, just because I remember how deep the calling is from the people there. So it was an honor.
Thank you, and such an honor for us to ask all our questions. And today I just have one question. How did the course come into your life?
I would say it was through probably the first time, I would say, a very sincere questioning in my heart. I moved country from China to Australia. I got settled there, and there was a lot of, huge change and transition, a lot of emotions. And then also at the same time, my marriage was breaking down. And in the middle of it all, I remember I asked this question one day as I was driving, like, what is wrong with my life? Because I have really pursued my life in this direction, which the whole world told me that would give me happiness. And one go after the next, I got them. And here I was. Seemingly, I got most of the goals already. And, I was so far from happiness. And that was the first time I was like, what's wrong? What's the issue? And I was driving, and I remember I searched all over my mind. I could not find the answer in my mind. And it was a very rare experience, because normally you always can get some answer from somewhere, your mother, education teacher. But I remember that is a question I couldn't get an answer, and I left it. I actually just forgot about it. But that was really the moment things started to crack open. Suddenly books started to come to my life, and very, very soon, like one book after the next, and it led to the course. And I remember also my dad was going through his process of, he was dealing with cancer for about 10 years by that point. So it was going through a lot of pain and fear of dying. And then at one point I went to a bookstore and picked up a book that is some actually excerpts from A Course in Miracles. And one quote just jumped out from the book, basically said, if you can just say, to whatever sickness that I have no purpose of this anymore, and rise from that and be healed instantaneously. And I remember that felt so resonating to me. Somewhere in me felt this has to be true, and I'm going to find out, because the whole life experience and the whole world was telling me otherwise. We are victim of circumstance, definitely sickness, definitely death, and definitely, victimhood, emotions, abandonment. So anyway, that was really like a light bulb went off in my mind. And I think I went back, I checked the course, and that just the whole journey started on from there. And I really felt from that point, Jesus took over my life. Not that I could really feel it at the time, but looking back, all these synchronicities started to happen. It was so quick because I was reading the course at work, and electronic version. I was hiding behind the spreadsheets I was doing, and then reading the lessons. And I just felt like I couldn't do it this way. Something feels torn in my heart. I had to quit my job, and I did. And the very next day, I went to the library, and I got a course book. I didn't buy it because I felt it was too expensive. So I borrowed it from the library. The next day I quit my job. And that very same day, a friend came to visit to have dinner with me. And he saw the book on my bookshelf, and he said, I didn't know you read this. Do you know there is a course book group in this area? And I said, no, I just got the book. And he gave me the phone number. The next day I called, and that was a Tuesday when I called, and he said, we have meetings on Mondays every week. So I said, oh, good. I just missed it. And where are you? And he gave me the address. It was literally on the same street, two doors next to my house. And then he said, actually, we didn't do it yesterday because we had a birthday in the group. The meeting starts half an hour, come now. So it was like, very, very quickly, I felt like once I pick up the course, I resonated with that in that very moment. From that moment on, all the steps was like I was pushed to that. And then you just say yes to each step. It unfolded from there on.
Mm. So you started to study the course and felt that you couldn't continue your job. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you quit your job. I hear this situation a lot. And not everybody is willing to quit their job so they can study the course. How did you come to that decision?
Well, it was I guess I feel just this torn inside, because I feel I really resonate with the course. There is no way I can continue. And it started from there, just started to grow. I feel like there's some kind of things in my life I really feel resonated, but it's not my job. And how do I, so I started to percolate this idea, is this really what I want to do? And I had a boss who recruited me and really, really took me under his wings. I loved him so much, and it was a great experience working with him. And I was thinking, there's one thing I absolutely is off the limit, which is to quit him, because I feel committed to him, even more so than the job. So I was thinking about it so strongly in my mind, but I made a decision, I'm not gonna do that. And then just as I made the decision, that same morning, he called me to his office and he said, I just want to tell you something. I said, what? He said, I quit. And I was like, what? Who quit? You quit? And he looked at me, he said, who else? Of course, it's me. I quit. But I almost stuttered. I couldn't compute how that was, happening. Just as I thought he was the reason I stay, he quit. And that just kind of those experiences really started to make me feel then what it is that I'm staying here for. Of course, for money is one thing, because I still felt like I had to make a living, but I also felt, I had some savings, and I also, at least as a stepping stone, I can just quit for a little bit and then rethink, give me some time to really immerse into the course. That was what I thought at the time. And then, of course, after that, fear came in, and also I had a lot of skills. So I thought, I could start my own business and be in control of my own time. So I started my own business afterwards as a way to still have an income and a career, but also be able to really have the time to study the course. So that was what happened afterwards for a number of years, actually.
Mm. I recognize this, how hard it is to be in my normal everyday life and study the course. It's nearly impossible to study the course and keep on living the same way as I used to. Can you just speak a little bit to that, because I find it it's a big decision to choose to not do it the normal way, living your life, rather choosing A Course in Miracles.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that the choice was made in mind without really, for me, I didn't really see the kind of change in form that would come. But the change in mind was made very, very, thoroughly. Like at the time, I was also eating a particular diet. I was eating raw food for a couple of years and nothing else, nothing cooked, for health reasons. And then when I got the course, I thought, what? This doesn't feel resonating. These two can't reconcile. I have to pick one. I can't study one, practice another. Deep down, I just don't feel the integrity. And I had to pick one. And I felt like I have to give it a chance to the course. So I quit that diet as well. So it's, but it just felt like it's coming from this feeling of integrity in my mind. Do I really believe this course, and do I really want to give it a chance? And if I do, then the decisions I made at the time felt small. Like, okay, I'm just going to make this one step at a time, not like huge. I didn't think I would leave the country and forever. But I felt like I made small choices that I could make to reflect back this decision in mind. And then it started to unfold. The decisions are presented to me to, of course, choose one over and over again. So I think you're right. Even Jesus says that the students or the teacher would be called to make changes seemingly, but those changes are reflections. Really, they're not changes that we can control at the level of form. They're reflections of the changes in the mind. So I would say yes, as we practice and go deeper with this desire to really hear Jesus's instruction, then a lot of the situations will be brought to us. But once we make the decisions with Jesus, we will see the happy outcome. And it's just gonna continue on. It's very, very happy.
Yeah, I recognize that. And it's like small experiences of making the choice, follow the guidance, and then I'm more at peace and happier. So I'm willing to do the next decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we talk about form changes, it's very tempting to think they imply sacrifice, and nobody would want to say yes to a change if they think there's gonna be sacrifices. So really, I think the way Jesus is unwinding our mind is very, very gently and small changes in mind to like as a very small decisions. Then you see there's absolutely zero sacrifice. That enables mind to relax and to be able to say yes and yes and yes more and more.
Yeah. So how did you I don't know what words to use, practice or immerse in the course? What would your day look like there in the beginning when you started to study?
When I started to study, I was reading a lot because I went through a time where I really had time, and so I read a lot, and also I immediately got plugged into a course group almost very quickly, which was really, really helpful because to be able to study with people and started to make friends. They all live on the same streets and around me. So that's the people I hang out with and I talk to. And then 3 months after, I started to feel it's not enough for me to only meet once a week and occasionally throughout the week. So I want to start my own group. So to be able to talk about it more. So I started another course group. I became a facilitator of a course group, which pushed me to meet more people, share my experiences, and also encourage people to share their experiences. So that became very much a bigger part of my life without even, trying to, make anything happen. It just happened. All my friends started to be very much course friends, and they share resources. They tell me about, have you seen, that's how I heard about it. David Hoffmeister, have you seen this movie that he gave a commentary? At the time, it was MySpace. It wasn't even, Facebook wasn't there yet. And I saw this video. David Hoffmeister did a commentary on the Star Trek episode called The Thaw, and I was completely blown away and just started to realize just this course is so deep and there's so much to actually to move forward with.
I recognize that wanting more. I just want to spend more time in that feeling of A Course in Miracles, and it doesn't really matter what I do or how I do it. I just want to be in it, and then it becomes more and more. Yeah.
And you do have groups.
I have groups. Yes, I have.
You have a group. You're facilitating, and then you're volunteering.
Exactly.
Course things, and now you're having podcasts. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it just keeps flowing, and I think it's guidance, and it feels like
Mm-hmm.
joy and inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
just wanting more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Mm. And how do you practice A Course in Miracles now? I mean, it's many years later, and what does a day look like for you in relation with A Course in Miracles now?
It's now every day it feels like every day is my curriculum. You know, there's not necessary just to read the book, but I would wake up and just kind of give the day over to Jesus to direct from, you know, I still read the daily lesson as something that anchors my thoughts, but it feels like every day I give the day to Jesus, and whatever happens comes in the day, I really ask the Spirit for interpretation for that, and trusting that is something as an answer to a deeper prayer. So I don't really go through the day with a problem solving mind, because that's what I used to, like one thing after the next, trying to solve problem, trying to find solution. But now everything happens, I just trust it's the Spirit giving it to me, Spirit giving this to me. And it becomes just very relaxing and very trusting everything that happens. And, you know, if there is any feeling of, oh, I wish things are different, then I know there is a judgment imposed. So it feels like I want to immediately ask the Spirit, you know, what's your interpretation, which is coming from love, you know, which can show me the miracle in this. So every day in terms of form, it looks very different. I can say that I do come to the day without any plan, because I want the day to be imprinted and to be given to me by the Spirit. And then I just watch what comes in, and then meet it with this desire to, you know, to see the miracle in it.
Do you live together with people who are studying A Course in Miracles? You live at the Miracle Casa in Mexico, or how does it look like? Yeah.
Yes, I have lived in Living Miracles community for over 11 years now. So here in Mexico, we have 4 houses, and people live in houses depending on the function. So people live there like in the same house because they're working in the same project, or somehow, you know, that's the setup. And in my house here, I have from 4 to 6 people, depending on whether someone is traveling. Occasionally when someone is traveling, we have fewer people, but we all have our own room. So it's very quiet and reverent. We have a lot of space to meditate. But you're right, we do live in communities. So the day is a lot of interacting with people and communicating. So talking about projects, talking about emotions, really meeting people, and that's a big part of it, definitely.
I can feel so drawn to living in community. Like I have lived in Buddhist communities before, and I know it's so hard. It's so difficult, and it's so hard because all the darkness is coming up. And 11 years, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What has it meant for you to practice A Course in Miracles to that extent? What has it done for you? Or I don't know how to ask the question, but yeah.
That's a deep question. I really see. I was more sheltered, kind of like a shy, and not really feel confident, so to speak, to be with people before. But what it, living in this way did, it was just to really started to see that the sameness of my brothers and I, just tap into this reality that there is truly no private thoughts. There is one ego construct that they're like these thoughts and we can all grab onto, but deep down there is a profound sameness that just has nothing to do with those thoughts. And it kind of really, I guess, I feel like opens me up in this yearning to connect and to be able to see truly and to be able to give, in any situation that is possibly presented, So that is a very happy kind of life when I realized that, oh my God, I can give and I have something to give. And it's not even Frances, me, it's the Spirit wants to give through the opportunities are presented. If you ask him, how do I give right now? And it blows your own mind and it shows you miracles and also helps. So that is really what I see the importance or the preciousness of living with people or having very close encounters with people. But I also know that this is not something I have chosen. The Spirit, has a plan, and it pick the people and pick the construct and pick also the backdrop for us to connect, because we don't just come just for the sake of talking about analyzing the ego or talking about God. It actually is not how the day looks. It very much is about what seems to be going on very strongly in everybody's mind. Maybe emotions, but it could be logistics, could be projects. But then the underlying goal is always, how do we hear the Spirit together and how do we forgive something that's not serving us?
Yeah. I'm so touched when you talk about it. I just want to cry. I don't know why, but it's to me it sounds so right and so beautiful, and it's like, yeah, that's how we should live, all of us.
Oh.
I don't know. Everyone has their unique path back home, but it sounds so beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, I really feel it. I really feel it.
So one last question. I know that many in the audience are quite new to A Course in Miracles. So with your experience, what would you like to say to them who desire to go deeper into the Course?
I would say that reaching out to people who are also on the same path, that's a huge support, and also just to relax, because this course is not a course that you would achieve something or you would have to really work so hard and put a lot of effort in. It's actually just trust that once you said yes, even the faintest yes in your mind, the curriculum already started. Jesus is right there. He wants to take control already. So every single thing that happens in your life, it could be turned over to Jesus and turn into this miraculous moment that light up your mind. So I just want to cheer everyone on and say that I just trust 100% that every little yes is heard, and your curriculum is already started and is well underway. So yeah, don't stress and don't worry, and then reach out to mighty companions.
Yeah, Wow. Thank you so much, Frances.
You're so welcome. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me. It feels so heartfelt.